Hello, everyone. Earthangel here. Hello, hello, hello. Wow, in this stage, we're at stage 5. And this stage is about learning about yourself, being comfortable with who you are, right? This is a stage where I took out my notebook and I was writing down, well, who am I? And I wrote down, well, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a cousin, I'm an auntie, and I'm a friend. And I started writing all these things down about myself. And then I said, well, let's go further, Lex. And, well, what do you like to do? And I love philanthropy. I love to give back to others. That's a big thing for me. And I was thinking about, well, I've done some, but I haven't done a lot. And then I wrote down all of my experiences as far as, I would do things as far as giving back to humanity, helping clean yards or paint a house or fix a fence or something like that. And I just wrote everything down. I was with the group here, group there. We did this, we did that. Those who gave out clothes, gave out food. Excuse me. And I was doing that on a regular basis, like every week. And as I started putting things together in my life, because I was like, oh, I must have did that for, probably a couple of years or something like that. But when I put it all together, I realized that I have been doing this type of work for a long time, giving to others. Even, around Christmas time when I get together with my family or get together with a group and, find out what a family needs and, buying beds or mattresses or, buying them pajamas or buying, whatever it is that they need. It really makes me feel good to do that. So I realized when I finished putting it all together that I had been doing this for many, 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 many years. It really made me feel good. I was like, I've done more than I thought I did, right? And then I wrote down, what do you do for work or what do you like doing? And I believe at that time or what is your background? And I have some nursing as a background, working at a hospital, different hospitals, going to school for that, receiving my certificate or learning from a different hospital. And then, working construction companies, plumbing, and I'm thinking accounting, a lot of accounting. And then I learned, I started working within a healthcare setting. Then I was working in IT, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm working in IT. And I had taken some college classes on, computers and stuff like that. And I'm like, can you believe it? I'm working in IT. So it was a different type of feel that I got to, being an analyst or being a project engineer or being, I had different titles, and so I got to learn new things and, learning to do some front end work, for a project or that, a different department, wanted us to work on. And when I look at all that stuff, I'm really at awe at what I have learned. But I've worked with HR, with safety, just different. I love touching every bit of it. And then I was like, well, you know what? You've done things at church, I sing in the choir, the women's choir, and the main choir. And then I was director of the men's choir for like 4 years and was in different auxiliaries. I love doing I realize that, I'm president here, I'm chairman there, or I'm co-chairman, and I'm starting to look at myself going, you've always been important. Looking at yourself, thinking, what people, they don't like me or they don't think I'm important. But when you stop and look over your life and what you did, you're important. I don't care if you're a janitor, if you're a teacher, if you work at fast food, it doesn't matter. I've done that. It doesn't matter. You actually find a way to move up, right? From this different categories. And you learn new experiences, right? And so I was just writing it all down. I'm like, wow. And I remember being in this stage, I remember setting boundaries. I have worked with people who have been the nicest of the nicest. And I have worked with people who thought, even though they weren't your boss, they thought they could be demanding or pushy, bullying. And I remember saying this, because I learned the next time that happens, I'm going to have words for them. All right? So I'm like, I have my own son. I have a son. Right? So don't treat me like a child. I'm not a child. Just because of who you are, or you want to be pushy, if you don't treat people with respect, you're not going to get respect back. Or you're going to continue to give them respect, or just cut them off. I'm not talking to you until you learn. And I remember speaking to someone. I was like, hey, you got a moment? Okay, let's go in the office to talk. And I was like, you know what? I'm noticing this, I'm noticing that. And I kind of let it go at first. But I need you to respect me. I need you to show me or give me what I give to you, right? Otherwise, don't say anything to me at all. It got to that point. I was fed up. In this stage, you learn to set boundaries. You learn of who you are, and you speak. Letting people know you're not a child. You don't just speak to me any type of way. Maybe this is the way you speak to your children, but it's not the way I speak. You're going to speak to me. I have a child. And I've noticed that, people go, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, and they start backing off, right? But sometimes people are just testing you. You got to let them know where you stand. Otherwise, they think, I can walk all over you. So, like I said, this is the stage where boundaries are set. You guys, I got my fan on. I've got this light on, that light on, this light. I've got, believe me, you guys, I've got lights to record this. And that was a little breakaway. But anyway, it's the setting of boundaries, letting people know how they should treat you. Excuse me. You're treating them with love and respect, compassion, empathy. And you would like that same thing back. So this was also a stage where it was almost like, I'm not going to take it anymore. You know, people think that they can just walk all over you. And like I said, set boundaries. But some people think they can walk all over you, and you've got to learn to speak up. Now, I have heard, don't get me wrong, just because I say no or no, 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 then they're like, oh my gosh. Or because I expose people, then they're saying, wow, I now, you know, I thought she was just all light. Now I see her dark side. This is all about, we all have a light and a dark side. This is all about balancing your light and your dark side. Not just walking and treating people, you know, you being in your dark side the entire time, or you being in your light side. You've got to know when to say yes and when to say no. This is how I feel, so no. I'm not going to do it. It is what it is, right? God has given us all free will. It doesn't mean free will, I'm just going to treat you crappy and treat you in any kind of way. That's not what God means. God says balance out your dark and your light side so that you will become a person that knows how to be free from all the darkness, the heaviness, the traumas, everything that you have gone through. You know how to let all that stuff go. Not carrying it on your shoulder anymore. Not feeling heavy or weighed down. And not treating people any old kind of way. I say no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So you can try to talk to me any old kind of way, but that doesn't mean that I have to take it. Maybe when you're younger, you know, you're naive, you don't know. You're just, well, that person had an attitude or didn't. Doesn't mean you have to take it. You don't have to stand there and take it. You don't. But you're learning a lot about yourself. You're learning a lot about boundaries. In this stage, you should also learn that it is okay with being by yourself. It is okay with going within and learning who you actually are. It is okay that you don't have someone lying next to you or somebody has to be with you every moment. There are some people who don't like being alone. And so they're not married to anyone, but they always need to have someone, or they like being single, or they are single, but they always have to have someone near them, whether it is a friend, one night stand, whatever it is. They always feel like they have to have someone beside them. Not being able or not taking the time to work on themselves and go, you know what, this feels good. It's okay. If I'm sitting here and I do my work and I'm watching a TV show or watching my Lifetime or my other movies, it's okay. I don't have to invite all these people over just so I'll be comfortable. But if you have a loving partner, you have someone to be with, that's different. But learning to separate. He goes off to work, you go off to work. Sure, you can miss him. I missed you. But also knowing that you're okay and he's okay. And for him to also know he's okay and you're okay. As long as you both have done the work, then it won't be like this, I need you to be here all the time. I can go out to the grocery store and I don't need to have you with me, right? To go grocery shopping. I got my list. I know what I'm going to get. Or, go to another store. I'm like, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to change up my makeup this season. Instead of having pinks, I'm going to just do some, some warm browns or something like that, I don't need to drag you with me. Not unless you want to come with me. But, I get up and I go and I check things out. I'm just like a kid in the candy store. I'm sorry. That's who I am. Sometimes I am. And sometimes you just want to get out and you want to just go and, see what's out there. As far as, okay, I'm getting a new car. I can do that on my own. I don't have to have someone with me. Not unless you want to be with me, right? I'll ask you, but you don't have to be with me. Or, someone's going to say, can I come with you? Sure you can come with me. But it's learning not to be so dependent that your life is filled with, they gotta be with me every moment, or I gotta be with them every moment. I need to see what they're doing. I don't need to see what you're doing every moment. No, I do not, right? But it's up to you, what you want. If you want to come hang with me, baby, come on and hang with me. If you want me to hang with you, I'd be happy to. But it doesn't have to be because I need to be wrapped around your little finger or wrapped around your neck. I need to know. No, it's not like that. And it's going to be the same way for you when you have your counterpart, when you guys come into union. It's going to be a whole different type of dynamic. Just wait and see. Wait and see. So anyway, is there anything else that I need to share? You guys, please give me a moment. So this is the stage where you are comfortable with yourself. You learn and take the time to heal, right? Heal from the past. Go through the stages. You're probably going to be still working on something from the past. It's going to be in your other notebook. where you have written everything down and you're still working on something, right? There's something that you cannot get through, or you have not, you were not able to forgive. And so you're still going to be working on that as well. Believe me, you're going to be busy. And you're going to get to the point where, you know what, I got something to work on. I got, instead of just sitting around, you're like, you know, I got something to work on. I got something to do. And that's what you're going to do. So you're getting yourself and you're growing to the highest potential. Being the best you that there is. You're learning a lot about you. I remember in this stage, I was like, oh yeah, I remember when I was a child, I used to like doing this. I'd sit with my microphone and I'd just sing. Or music's playing, I love to dance. Think about those things that you did when you were a child or growing up. Something may have happened to you that halted you from doing that, from feeling good, from dancing around. I like to dance around the house. I like to sing. You know, there are a lot of things that I like to do. And you remember some of those things, and it's like, I let that go. Why did I let that go? I used to be in the band and play flute and piccolo, and why did I let that go? I could probably still play it now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I would have to. I had a flute of my very own. I think we gave it away. My sister and I had a flute. And then we would get the piccolo from the music director, and we got the, you know, we had the flute and the piccolo, and we were just, oh, I loved it. Come from a family of musicians, you know, I had a brother who played saxophone. I love those times. So now, you know, as you work on yourself and you're doing things, you're like, how come I don't still do that? That would be fun, right? So those are the things. You're regaining what you lost a long time ago. And you're getting to the point where you're saying, I love myself. I love who I am. I love who I have become. There are a lot of things where I am the same person that I used to be. However, I've changed a little bit. But I'm pretty much the same person that I used to be. But I've grown, right? I'm a better person now. I've set my boundaries. At first, I didn't have my boundaries set. Things or people that I should have said no to, I didn't. But now, I have no problem with telling you no. Nope. I have no problem. So that's where you need to learn to get to. Strive at being a better person. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get going. I have another video to do. The next video is where you are actually choosing yourself. And there's much more to that, but I'm just giving you a little bit of what's going to happen when we get to stage 6. Okay? So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I love you all, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.